Kafan, because you guys are going to have to come closer to me, right?
Around like this, everybody can see me. Just make a big circle. Can come this side. Please move this here. Just don't block the way. Can everybody see? Should we make the circle bigger so everybody can see? Otherwise the people standing at the back can't see. Maybe should we sit here?
You're taking a stand big.
Can you stand this side?
Yes.
Maybe then they can see, huh? Is that okay? It's better to be
Right then for me. Let's see if you open it up.
Can we also, ladies that want to take chairs, maybe a few sit, then the others behind them can see, stand.
Maybe they can bring the chairs so some can sit in front and I can see it like that.
Let me just see what is happening here. Okay, so that's two. Okay. Just Lisa, you take that two pieces on that side. Okay? Wait, don't open it up. Keep it close. Grab that side and that. Tie the two ends together. That's it. Perfect, like I've got mine. Okay. Throw it over just underneath here. You need to pull one part there. Okay. So this is the male kafan. Trying to just make the two parts together like this. Okay. And just throw it open. So as you can see, you can work over the cloth. There's no problem with that. I'm going to try and speak loud.
Should I bring it out and do that side or not?
You just need to get this evenly. Use this as the, just pull that evenly. Okay? This is really big one. Okay, so these kafangs, these lifafas are very, very wide, which is actually quite good. Okay? Because sometimes we find that we've got a bigger built person, and then these lifafas are thin, and then you actually battle when you need to close it. So this kind of kafang is very generously cut. It's very good. Please make sure that this side is on the end, and that this side and the inside pull down. Yes. So that these sides are also nicely spaced. And I'm doing the male kafang with you ladies because there's nothing stopping you from preparing your husband's kafang should he die before you. You all are ironing his shirt for work, you all are ironing his thobe for Jummah, for Eid. So you should have the right to prepare this for him. Even if you decide not to go into the ghusl room, this is an act of love you can do for him. Okay, so what you'll do is you open the kafangs like that. You'll take off the first one. I'm not going to do it now because just to save time. So you open the first one so that it lays like this. You'll imagine where his back, this area, is going to be from his shoulders till this area. Because that's the area we want to pad. Okay? So I've got a bag there with coffee wool. A pick and roll right there. Always have your cotton wool at home. You will get cotton wool in your kafang packs. but the cotton wool is not always enough for a female. For a male, the cotton will always be enough. That will be more than enough. So you can see that portion would be the head part. This would be the head coming down. So more or less that would be your right area. We'll pad nicely there. Okay. You're now going to take your camphor that you've chopped really fine, or you're going to throw your camphor nicely onto here. You're going to throw some rose oil, whatever nice smelling oils you want. You're going to do it all on here. You're going to take another piece, half of that, and you're going to put it inside because that would be to cover over here. Okay? Then you're going to throw more rose oil, you're going to throw some more camphor, etc. And then you remember how I tied the kafan last week? You're going to roll from this side up, you're going to roll from that side in, you're going to fold it and you're going to send it in. And that is how difficult it is, or how easy it is to just do your husband's kafan for him. You're also going to put one piece aside for the face. Okay? These are the strips that came with it. That's 1, 2. Okay. This kafan came with 2 strips. I would prefer 3 strips. So if you find yourself having 2 strips, just cut another strip around the end. If it's a more heavier guy, cut 3 strips so that you have 5. Because you are going to have a strip here by the head. We're going to have a strip here. We're going to have, for the heavier person, a strip over the tummy, 1 by the knees and 1 by the feet. For the person who's of medium height, you're going to have 1 by the feet, 1 over the midsection, and 1 at the head. Okay? Just want to see. Okay, this is your third lifafa mouth. So this is your third lifafa. This would go over here, underneath here. So it would be 3 of these, alright? And then this. Remember that is the sunnah way. In some of the kafan packs you might get the kurti, or you might get the izar. It just depends on how they've cut the kafan pack. But this, I forgot this one. The 3 would be the sunnah way. No topi, no izar, no izar, no shirt either. But if there is a shirt, put on the shirt. If you want to, then you can put on the top. Okay? It's all just personal preferences at this stage. And you can even, when you open your first lifafa, you can throw your camphor underneath there. Then you throw open your second lifafa, camphor. You throw open the third lifafa. This is where you place your cotton on. Camphor, rose oil, everything. And you roll it. Okay? That is as simple or difficult as that would be. If you would want of these, I'm sure Shaista is going to organize some for you. Okay? I'm going to roll up the female one. So then it would be the same for the female as for the male. Just going to close it very quickly. Eh? Just once we can close it nicely afterwards. That kafan is very gentle. You would be able to shower any sized person in there. So I think I'm going to use these also. Okay. 2, 3. Okay,
Could you see
the
this
female
bit?
pack came with 3
That?
of the strips. And if you look at the size of the strips, these are obviously meant for the head and the feet. This one looks a bit longer, so this one is obviously meant for the midsection. So we've got here our lifafas. Can you help me? Move it down. Okay. Pull it a bit more up. Okay. Always just make sure that you've got enough here and that you've got enough after the feet. Okay? Is it nicely onto the floor that side? Yeah. So these are your 2 lifafas. This would be your izar, your skirt. So you may, if you're working over the counter where the maid has laid, you can actually measure nicely. So we can feel this is where the skirt is. The skirt would start just here. Pull that here. Okay. Let's see what is happening. I'm going to. Okay, so I was just panicking because I couldn't put in my scissor and I'm thinking, yes, hello. Okay, so this would then be your scarf one, and this would be your hobbies. Okay? The only place you might need a scissor is for here. Later on, if for whatever reason your calves are out a little bit, no stress, you can just cut it open. It can have any shape. It can have any shape. It can have, where we have this, it can be a round neck. Okay? It can have where we have this and cut into the back.
So we can tell our sisters what next time we want to do.
Yes, you can put it in your mouth. Okay. So this would obviously come where the neck is, right? Can you see? Place it over there. Pull that over. And as you work, you're always doing it tidy. She's already having a training, eh? Hasn't he? Okay. Move it a little bit over. This is one of the tricks. Take the top part. Fold it over. Get a little bit smaller. A little bit more over. A little bit more over. Okay. Do you see what I'm doing? If you don't fold this over, you are going to rattle. If you don't fold this over. Okay. Just going to pull these out, put it on the inside. Pull this out. Pull this, no, just this one. Take over. Okay. So then you nicely on this side. Okay. A little bit up now. 2 lifafas, kurta. Open the kurta, bring the top part right over to here. Then the skirt or izar part. Okay. Now we are going to put some cotton wool for the back part. Put up the two. You camphor, I don't want to do it in the masjid because the males are coming for salah, but your camphor, your rose oil, your everything. Okay. You leave the scarf bit one side. At this time, you take that, put it underneath. Okay? Yes. Well, take this part and just put it underneath where the feet is. Okay? Right, that's where the feet is, close it. This part will go underneath, yeah? Just pull it through on the other end. Okay, through my hands. This is more or less, pull more, you can pull more. Okay. This is more or less where the tummy is, the midsection is. I think I've got the long pins, but it doesn't. Okay. I'll put this where the head is. Okay. Pull on your side. So here's the head. This is where we're putting it. Okay. If the female is heavier, we will do one here and one by the knees. But because it's Hawaiian, so like if it's a heavy person, one here and one by the knees. At this point, this is where you wrap it in. Okay? So can I get to another person on our side? Aisha? And just down. Don't be nervous, don't be nervous, it's easy. Right? We're gonna fold it in like this.
From the bottom, yeah. All the way to the bottom. All the way to the bottom, the last one. You take your limits, yeah.
And there's another one.
One more.
Last one.
I want especially the committee ladies who are going to be doing this.
So you should take over here. Chase down.
Okay.
Give me to your lady, Marshall.
All the way to on top. Remember the mayat is still covered with a sheet, right? She's not laying open, right? Okay, just stop right there. Come up, you come up, toe up against you. Do you see that? Do you see where the...
So you basically
Now
just
at
lay
this point, if you've forgotten to do this, this is where you can do this. If you don't do the strips at this point, you're going to battle afterwards because you will have to lift the mayata up like that to slide it on. So you don't want to battle like that. You want the strips in at this point, okay? Again, like I said to you, because Hawaii is so thin. Okay. For now, this one, I will look to the point where I know the neck part is, and I will move it to the neck part. I would actually prefer if you cut your top, your head and your feet strips a bit longer than this, okay? Because you might battle with this. So this is when you move it, because maybe you've done this in another room, the house is small. You can either fold it like this. This is how you can quickly move it without catching dirt or anything going from room to room. Right. So now you're coming to the room of where the maid is. She's laying. We like to work from the right hand side first, so we just tell each other that is the right side, so we will put this on that side. Okay? Most important thing, most important thing is to align this part with the neck. Double check and triple check that part, okay? You want to have this part with the neck. So now we're going to turn the mater on her left. Okay, now. I'm not even saying anything and they know what to do. Right. You're going to open the strips. You're going to push it right against the mater, right under her. This is the only way you can get it under her without lifting her. Remember, we are females. We don't have that physical power. We're going to put our mater into the kafan. Okay? We're going to turn her to that side. We're going to make sure that we have our strips. And these strips are just a little bit short. Move it up a bit. And we're going to open the side. And we're going to lay her into. And we are going to, I'm just going to take this off just for ease for us. We are going to check that this is in the right way. So if we look at this kafan, the only problem with this kafan is that the cut is not generous enough. Okay? With even her. So imagine a normal person. Because if we have to bring this over, we are going to battle. So this is where, you know, I said you have a scissor in the back. This is where you will make this cut longer. So you'll take your scissors and you'll cut a bit up. And it doesn't matter if this is going to show a bit more because we are going to pad it with cotton wool and the lifafas are still going over it. Nobody is going to see this. Okay, but we just don't want to hurt the mater by having to pull it and push her here because remember what she would feel in life, she would feel in death as well. So at this stage already, I would make the cut a bit longer. But because I'm just going to shift it a bit up, just for this lesson. But you know that you will cut it up. Okay. So now, the mater is still with her sheet. We will start putting cotton wool for her. So this is a 500 contract. You will get this at Cleeks and Diskin. Cleeks has got a nice big one, which you can even make in half to make it go further. So first of all, we're going to break off a piece for the face. Just wide enough for the face. We're going to take this piece, we're going to put it on a plate, and we're going to put it somewhere in the room where close to the mat, so when the imam comes and he's ready to close up, we just ask for this. So we're going to hand this to somebody who's going to know where it is. So the reason for the cotton wool is to pad that areas which is going to show. So we're going to hide those areas. Okay. So we're going to start by taking pieces. Okay, this is not the clicks one, so this is a bit thinner. And you're gonna, this is the area that shows, so we're gonna pad this area.
Remember, are you taking the sheet off with the sheet?
No, we're working under the sheet at no point because remember she is naked, huh?
We have an extra pair of sheet on.
Yes, yes. But I'm doing this for demonstration purposes so you can see exactly where we're padding. But we're working underneath the sheet. Remember when we finished washing her and drying it, we put on the clean sheet. That is the sheet that is still on her. So you can pad over here underneath. For the plate, we're going to do a wrap over like a little, like that. Okay, I don't have enough cotton here, but we would do this. And we would add some wool. Especially if she was maybe well built, we would add some here and here. And if you have enough cotton, just add as much as you want. Okay? So now we are finished with that. And now we're going to start with the kafan.
piece and open it.
Yes, Clicks has got a very nice piece. So remember the order in which we put it, the two lifafas. Then we did the kurta, we opened the kurta, we put the izar right on top. This is why. We will first work with the izar. Okay. We'll throw it over. Now, people are going to say start with the right, start with the left, or they want the right on top, or they want the left on top. Because if you start with the right, the left will go on top. If you start with the left first, the right will go on top. It is whichever one you want to do. Okay? But we will rather start with the right side first. So let's start with the, yes, the hand can come up. So we'll start with the right side first. Bring over. So this is the izar. This is the skirt. We bring it over and then we wrap it as much as we can under the body. Tight, tight. And we'll bring this side over. Tight against the body. And we'll wrap it out and under the body. Okay? And if this is nice and long enough, you can even tuck it under the feet like this. We want to tuck as much as possible so that if the major goes into the grave, the strips are made loose. If there is a gush of wind that comes at that time, nothing will show because we've got it nice and tucked. Okay. Second thing that we bring over is the kurta. So now, because we opened it up, just because ours is so right, this will go over like that. And you can put more cotton wool here if you feel that you want to cover this more, okay? But the reason why the cut is here is so that the kurta can go over. And if the cut is too not wide enough, you just cut with a scissor, okay? Bring the kurta right down. And we are forever tidying it up, okay? We can bring this in. And we can tuck it under her. Now, with other kurtas, there might be a cut here. If you find that you are given a kurta with a cut there, that means it's a sleeve they've created for you. So you can put the hand in there and you can cover. This one doesn't have the cut, so we will just... Okay, the other thing is, a lot of people like to see that the maid is laying like that. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be like this as well. But in Cape Town, we prefer to see this. So this is where, if you have the armpit, you put it around. We don't have the armpit, the arm cut, so we'll just put the hand over. Remember, when you bring this part over, that's when you remove the sheet. Okay, so as soon as this is over, you pull down the sheet and you hand it to somebody. The hands now go into the position with the left first and then the right over the hands. Shukran for cooperating, Hawa. Hawa doesn't always cooperate. And we'll tuck this in as neatly as possible. It's nice and wide, so we'll go half and then we'll go in and we'll tuck it underneath. As much as we can. Okay? So she's got on the izar, she's got on the kurti. So now it's for the scarf. So now everybody starts stressing again, how do we put the scarf? I take the scarf, and remember there are no rules here. So you can do whichever way you feel comfortable. This way works for me. I turn it into a triangle scarf. Yes, just throw the work from that area. Mashallah, pull it out. So there's your triangle. Now remember when you're cooking on a Sunday morning, how do do you tie your scarf? Triangle? Achter. You can put a piece of cotton wool around here also.
What do we do with the hair? Doesn't it cover somewhere?
See, the hair's been placed one, if it's long, one plait here, one plait here, one plait at the back, remember? Or if it's short, we just leave there because it's going into the scarf now.
So isn't like your base must be covered with
No,
hair?
it comes all into the scarf, okay? Take this one piece. And pull it to you. And I will take this piece.
Mark, at this time, is the sheet still over the bottom?
No, we took it out.
No, we took it out already.
So basically the head is open and everything,
Yes.
the hair is also open.
Yes.
It's closed.
Yes.
Okay, the scarf is too big, guys, and I'm going to take my scarf. It's in here. That's my
Oh, and then there was another thing. Can you take a normal scarf, a normal white
Yes,
scarf
yes,
also?
yes. You get this, for those of you that know pencil, this way, you can use the cotton amsel. They normally have, and Sarwans in Haji Brand Crescent, they normally have the normal old. Or if you don't get it, you only get it in Makkah. There's something. Then you scarf at least. Don't think we're going to have kafangs. Okay, so these are much easier. Yes?
So if a person has a lot of hair, long hair, is there any possibility that they can apply white under that?
Yes. Remember the rule was that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's daughter died, he says to Atiyah them, wash her 3 times and then call me. And when they called him, he gave them his wrapper. So Rasulullah's daughter only had one lifafa. It's us, our scholars that have made it like this for us. Okay, so if you want to put in an undercut,
Oliver, what also is the Mayati is in Kabi?
you'll see now. We're going to make it into a unicorn. Okay, this will just go underneath. We have the 2 sides. Yes, the ear is covered. We're going to take the one side. There's unicorn. We're going to take the other side.
Is this a must?
Yes.
The niqab is a must.
We cover the face like this. We tend to just cover the face like this for modesty, and because sometimes when the person is died, there's the rigor mortis, so the mouth not. So we hide whatever we can, because the expressions might also be different from person to person, as I said. Okay.
So the eyes are
So it's like that, one side over and the other side over. I've not tried any other way, so this way works for me. Right. So now we're going to do the closing of the lifafas, right? We want to start with the right side first. For now, we are close. No, just the one. Okay.
So that means the women's toilet must be closed. There is no showing of the face and stuff like that.
Having this.
Oh,
But I'm doing it so you can all see how we do it. The second lifafa will go over and you will tuck it in underneath. Make sure this is nice and straight. Bring the side over. Tuck it in. Nice and tight. Bring the side over. tuck it in. Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
This is nice and tight. Tuck it in. Okay. Right. We'll close the end. We'll feel where's the feet. And we'll tie this one. Why not?
No, because they're going to open the face to show.
And then a bow. No double knot, because the imam or whoever lowers it into the grave will loosen those knots again. The one over the tummy area. One knot, not too tight. What we just want to do is to hold the kafan in place. We don't want to show the shape by tying this too tight. Okay. We move to the head. We make sure that we have this in place. We look at the lifafas. And we open up the face. Because there in Cape Town we still do the last layers, the pistachios and everything. We ask for the cushion. Cushion goes underneath. We know where our cotton wool is. Everybody will know. Now we will throw over the other white sheet, the two cushions on the side, just to hide the shape. So now everybody will come, recite Quran, etc. Closer to the time of the janazah, the family will say last ziyarat. Everybody will do the last ziyarat. The imam will come. And sadly, because we don't know how to close the kafan, we let the imam place the cotton over the maid's face. And it should be a male, non-mahram, male mahrama, or the daughter, or whoever. So now, when the imam comes, son says, husband says, I'll drop this. I'm going to do this. He's going to take the cotton wool. And it's so much nicer when it's a family member. The imam does it because the family doesn't know how to do it. But if we know, we step forward that moment. How nice isn't it for a daughter to do this? Very heartbreaking too, because you're closing your mother's face for the last time. But Allah grants us the strength to do this for our loved ones. So the cotton wool goes over. Everything is a bismillah. And we start closing. And we now know how to do it, so we will do it for our mothers or our son or husband. Or, we can teach them, just stand next to them because they don't know how easy this is. You can literally see which lifafa lies first and which lifafa lies. You just follow the lifafas. We have a cotton strip here. Show that for me. I love to just tidy this up, and so don't feel rushed if you just take 2 minutes to tidy this up. This is your mother, this is your father, this is...
Can we cut the extras?
You can cut the excess. Look, it's not going to be like this for a normal sized female. It's because Hawaii is a child size 13. But if it's a normal female, she'll definitely be much taller, longer. So this will not be this long. And with Hawa, it was a lot more folding because she's so thin. With a normal sized adult woman, it will not be that much folding and tucking in. It will be much easier. So, alhamdulillah, there we have it. difficult at all. Just remember, we like to start everything with the right hand side, and then the left, and then right, and then the left. And the only tricky part, again, is your kurta, just getting your kurta off. And just remembering that the kurta comes before the izar, and remembering when to put your strips. Always use strips the minute you're working with your kafan. Have your strips ready, and remember to do them before you start opening your kafan. Okay. And then I think, inshallah, everybody will be able to do this. Especially today when the kafan pieces come pre-cut. I think in the past it was stressful for people knowing how to measure and then cut. And it was narrow pieces, so it was sewing together. And that made people think that it was a very difficult thing to do. And that put people off as well. But as you could see, with the pre-cut, it takes a half an hour to 40 minutes to just do the kafan because it's cut for you. Throw open your lifafa, put your nice camphor, whatever. Throw open your second lifafa, put your camphor, whatever. Throw open your kurti. Throw open your, bring up the first layer of the kurti and make sure you know where it is with your strip. Throw open your izar, put your cotton wool, put your camphor. We want our makeup to smell nice. Put your camphor and everything, and you roll it up. You come and you know now how to do, even when you wash, when you're doing the towels, put her on a side, and you push the kafan as much as you can underneath, and turn it back on the other side, and then she'll lay in the kafan. Open the other side of the kafan, make sure your strips are in place, move your meter onto her back, she will be inside the kafan now. And then just double check your neck. And if need be, just cut your neck a bit, the slit a little bit longer, because we can always cover this with cotton wool. And then we start with the izar from the right over, then the left, and we tuck it in. If there's space at the bottom, we tuck it under the feet, and then we bring the kurti over, and we've padded everywhere that we've wanted to pad. We bring our kurti over. If the kurti is long enough, you can also tuck it in. If the kurti has the cut for the arms, you wrap it around the arms. And then left arm, and then right arm, or it can lay down. There's no text here. And then it's just the covering of the lifafas. And then keeping the face piece, placing it, keeping it near. Or you can even put it in the, if you want, in the cartel, so it's here, everything is here. After the ziyarat, close it.
Padding that you do, for, like say you feel you want to put padding by the private cottons, do you put the camphor and the...
You can put camphor. Look, the more camphor we put, the better, because it cools the body, it keeps the vermin away, it will help with any liquids in the body to not let it come out. It will, if there's any smell, it will. The more camphor you use, I feel the better.
And for the ziyarat, pose that ziyarat, is that for like anybody?
No, I again prefer that this is a very intimate moment, and it's not a show for everybody to come. So you allow only the close members of the family, the sons, the daughters, to come in. The rest of the colleagues and neighbors, if they want to show the respect through the janazah salah, show the respect through the dua for the deceased. But not everybody should come.
So I learned that, like that Hadith Mu'alma mentioned earlier on about your brother being deaf to you. So even your brother can't come next year.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't really, because he's not a mahram to you.
Yeah.
I mean, he loves you. You've been like a sister. So perform the janazah salah. Make the dua. Sit in the corner and recite Quran.
Because when my aunt passed away, I was very disturbed because my uncle, who was a brother-in-law, he kissed down the forehead, and I was like, the scarf is not even covering the forehead. So I was stressing that broke the wudu, and
No,
I don't know.
No, the wudu of the deceased person wouldn't break. Okay, neither would the ghusl or anything. Even if there's any najasa that comes out, if it was a cancer patient, we can always cut off that piece and put on it whatever. But unfortunately, not everybody learns the whole janazah process. And so they don't know that they're doing something wrong. Maybe his heart was in a good place and he didn't mean anything, and it was his love for the person he thought of as his sister. But he should not have. But so in ignorance, Allah forgives. But we should be seeking knowledge from the cradle to the grave, and that's why we must make time to learn these things, so that the whole procedure can be done in the most beautiful of manners, that is comforting also to everybody. So inshallah, with you ladies knowing, inshallah, you will, when the time comes in your family, you can take the lead and you can say, look, when it comes to the ziyarah time, it's not good for everybody. Let only the mahrams come. The rest, we can all go for janazah salah, we can all make the dua, we can all sit and recite. But put it aside for a little money so that nobody feels okay, class in a positive manner. Then when people feel, okay, you just sit, so I'm just going to go away. I don't want to be part of the janazah anymore. So just do it in a gentle tone, but try and share what you've learned and empower others through your knowledge. That is, inshallah, this is what the workshop is all about. That we get back to the sunnah way.
Just one question. When they bury this janazah down, do they open up the
Yes.
and then they put it down?
Yes. Once it's inside, they will just open it up.
And they leave it like that.
They
don't
leave
take
it
out.
open and then take it out.
And only the mahrams are supposed to be
And
there.
only the mahrams get into the grave in any case.
That's so that the mayor can set up to answer the question.
Yes, in the way that they put the mayat on the right hand side facing Qibla, you get it. Yeah. But this is also because we loosen it because the body will swell up. The things that happen on the third day and the seventh day to the body will happen. And so if we have kept the ties closed, that will hamper when the body is swelling up. So we let the nature take its course. It's there for the reason of making sure the kafan stays into place while we transporting the mayita or the mayyit to the qabristan. But once it's in, we can loosen it.
You were saying there's a sheet normally on you before they go to the mommy says she's already over older, so she wants a white blanket. Is that allowed?
Yes. Because they'll move the body like this into the carton, and the carton will have that covering, and then over that will go a blanket. But there won't be a blanket over here. This is how the mat will be. That is why it's calico. That is why there is more than one lifafa, there's a kurta, there's the padding, so that nothing of the shape of the body is shown. That's why we do the padding and all of that. And the tucking in. And so no matter what happens, this is secure.
So what you call it, this all stays on here, except that this part gets opened up.
But
This cloth over here stays on.
everything stays as is, just this is there. That is untied and that is untied.
It's a scary business.
Let this be a reminder for us and an eye-opener now.
I know like in males teeth is round. If you would put that on like the other sister said, I was older and she black one. Then if you put that in round that like for instance my husband's kid is round. So we put that right on top of the teeth.
Over this. Look, you can put the ihram a towel over it if you want to disguise more the shape of the body. But ultimately, this is how the body gets into the grave. But however we want to cover, there are no texts that say you can't have a barrier over.
Sorry, ma'am. It's 12. Just sticking to our times. I know people have a lot of questions. Let's make WhatsApp, Walima on the WhatsApp group.